Broadly speaking, everything your side is touching is turning to gold at the minute. Why is Stags going through such a rich purple patch?
Well, we weren't 10 days ago because we lost at Walsall 2-1. So we're very much aware of, in some ways, how fragile it is. Anybody can beat us and we can beat anybody in this league this season. So, and that applies to certainly the last 13 games. MK Dons to play twice in that 13 games, probably the form team at the moment. So we're taking absolutely nothing for granted in any game. If we're good and we're on it, we know we're a match for anybody. But it's making sure that we're in that state.
How do you maintain that state? That has to be the million-dollar question.
Yeah, well, we've done it for the majority of the last 33 games. So it's a case of saying to the players, keep doing what you're doing. If you can, work even harder, both ways, defensively and attacking-wise. And then we should be okay in the next 13 games. If we step off it, then that's when we have a problem.
February is coming to its close. 5 games played, 4 wins, 20 goals. The month of the season so far?
Yeah, because of the return of points and certainly goals. I think we've been threatening to score the goals most of the season. We've had plenty of games where we've had 20 plus shots, 25, 26, and not finished enough of them off, which we talked about at length, I think, earlier in the season. We've just had a good month where everything, or a lot of what we've hit, and confidence, it plays a big part in that, certainly, and we've got our rewards.
You're not getting ahead of yourself, you're making that clear, but there's so many positives at the moment, and it would be remiss of us not to mention them, one of which is at the top end of the pitch. Last season, you scored 72 goals throughout the campaign. That was the highest in the league. So far already, with 13 to play, you've got 67 goals.
Oh, well, I hope we can beat the 72 between now and the end of the season. Brilliant. Our main focus at the end of last season, start of this season, was to concede less, to get a good defensive record, because we thought we scored enough goals, and we thought the way that we play, we'll always create chances and put a few of those away. So it's lovely that we've got that many goals. I think it's brilliant for supporters as well. Home or away, we've tried to play the same, and we've tried to attack.
That atmosphere on Saturday was something, wasn't it?
That was brilliant. Probably as good as we've known it. I think because we got pegged back as well at 1-1. A little bit unfortunate, but it was a brilliant goal, the individual goal the lad scored. We still should stop him fouling, whatever we need to do. And then I think it was so important to get that goal in added time at the end of the first half. I think Bailey got a little toe on it, didn't he, or something? He's not an own goal. He's got the goal, yeah. He said he got a little bit on it. So important to go in 2-1 up. I think, it changes everything then when you come back out for the second half.
Atmosphere-wise, do you think it made a bit of a difference at all having more fans in the North Stand?
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, we've talked about in an ideal world, you want your supporters behind both goals. I read a quote, that obviously the Cop is famous for it at Anfield, but, Rob Edwards said Luton last week, he said that it seemed as though, they're actually sucking the ball into the back of the net, and it is like that at the Cop end. And it can have the same sort of effect if you get, raucous supporters behind both goals, or not raucous, just your supporters, really. And it was lovely to see them a few more, I think, than the Harrogate game. So when I think the away team aren't bringing too many, it's ideal to get a few of our home fans in there.
Generally speaking, when you're playing so well and the players are playing at such a high standard, what problems does that present you as the manager to actually pick the 11?
Yeah, a few problems, but it's a nice problem, and it's also one that we can put anybody in at the 18. We make a couple of changes here or there. George Williams came back in Saturday, played very well. Aaron Lewis came back in for his first start for a good few weeks, played very well. So we've said this, within the 18, we've got no problem at all making 2 or 3 changes, and we may well do again Saturday.
Player-wise, what's the very latest from the physio's room?
Elliott's back in full training, but we'll need a good couple of weeks and then a build up from there. 45 minutes. I think we've got a reserve game in about a week or so's time after the MK Dons game, or the week after. So he'll play 45 minutes in that to continue his comeback. James Gale's training. He's in full training. Just needs half a game as well or so. But it's good to have them back if we need them.
Let's speak about the opponents on Saturday, Newport County. Is it fair to say they're a better side now than when you played them earlier in the season?
Oh, without doubt. And I think they're quite an unpredictable side. I've read a few of Graham's comments after games where he said, they were not very good, and then the next week they were outstanding. They are one of those teams that, on their day, are as good as anybody. And you know, they just suffered a 3-0 reverse at MK on Saturday, I think. So I think we have to be careful of reaction from that.
What are they all about in this stage of the season?
A bit of everything. And Newport, you know, they certainly can play. And as we found last season, they put a lot of balls in your penalty area when they're at home. So you have to deal with that. But they're a good mix, I think they are. And that's why on the day, they've had some outstanding results.